Okay, so this is our third video in our rhetorical grammar, specifically introduction to words and phrases, and we're going to be focusing on the form classes of adjectives and adverbs. So, like nouns and verbs, adjectives and adverbs can be recognized by their form and by their relative position in a sentence. We have um, different comparative and superlative suffixes for inflection endings. So adjectives and sometimes adverbs have these endings. The comparative is when you're comparing two things, so you have that ER, and the superlative is if you are comparing more than two things, three or more, and you have that EST. So we have big as an adjective, and then the comparative suffix would be bigger, and then the superlative suffix would be biggest. And then the same with adverbs. Near, comparative suffix, nearer, and superlative suffix, nearest. When the word has more than two syllables, it's a little bit different. The marker's different. So in that case, you would use the word more for the comparative and most for the superlative. So beautiful, you don't say beautifuler, you say more beautiful or most beautiful. For quickly, you say more quickly or most quickly. So another test of whether a word is an adjective or an adverb as opposed to a noun or verb is its ability to pattern with a qualifier, such as very, like very beautiful or very quickly. You'll notice that these tags, the like inflection endings and very, can help you differentiate adjectives and adverbs from the other two form classes, nouns and verbs, but they don't necessarily help you distinguish them from each other. Um, but there is, of course, one clue that helps us identify adverbs, and that's the ly ending. The ly ending is not an inflectional suffix like er, est. When we add one of these to an adjective, like happier or happiest, the words remain an adjective, just as a noun with a plural inflection is still a noun. But if you add an ly, that make adverbs so noticeable, you're basically changing an adjective into an adverb. So quick plus ly is quickly. Quick is an adjective, quickly is the adverb. Pleasant plus ly, pleasantly, becomes an adverb. Happy plus ly becomes an adverb, happily. So the derivational suffix enables us to essentially derive adjectives from adverbs. So ly means like, so quickly means quick like, happily means happy like. And because we have so many adjectives that can like morph this way into adjectives, many thousands in fact, we can almost always assume that an ly word is an adverb. There's a couple of exceptions, but in general, an ly word is an adverb. So in addition to these adverbs of manner, the ly, as the ly adverbs are called, we have an inventory of other adverbs that have no clue in order for us to know that they're adverbs. Some of them are then, now, soon, here, there, everywhere, afterwards, often, sometimes, seldom, and always. And often the best way to identify an adverb is by the kind of information it supplies to the sentence. Sometimes information of time, place, manner, frequency, etc. In other words, if the word answers the questions such as where, when, how, and how often, it's an adverb. And the other piece to identifying an adverb has to do with what it modifies. So when you have a noun phrase, the position between the determiner and the head word is where we find adjectives. So for instance, we have the determiner this, the head word recipe, new is between it, that's an adjective. An, a determiner, crowd is the head word, enormous is between it, it's an adjective. Adverbs, on the other hand, modify verbs, and they're part of the predicate. So it works a little bit differently. So we have some residents spoke passionately for the ordinance. And Mario suddenly hit the brakes. And it doesn't, in this case, we have, it's spoken, the adverb follows it immediately after. But what makes adverbs so good for writing is their movability. They're very versatile. You can move them into a whole bunch of different places in the sentence. So you can have, Mario suddenly hit the brakes, Mario hit the brakes suddenly, suddenly Mario hit the brakes. And being able to move adverbs around the sentence allows you to have a lot more choices in your sentence structure. Okay, so really quick, this was a very quick video. I just want you to experiment with the underlined adverbs to discover how movable they are. So I look at these sentences and determine where else you could move the adverbs and how that would change the sentences. And if you have any questions, you can just come see me after class or shoot me an email. Thanks. Bye-bye.